Training is an essential part of developing care staff to ensure they are effective in their jobs and are kept up to date with new developments. It helps empower care staff to reach their full potential. It builds on their confidence and helps develop a deeper understanding of their role. It is your role as a trainer to inform, empower, motivate and develop your learners. The more confident you are as a trainer, the more effective your training will be. This video will help you review your role as a trainer, consider the ways in which individuals learn, develop your understanding of different learning and teaching styles, understand group behaviour, develop your communication skills in order to facilitate group learning, understand the importance of feedback in progressively developing both the learner and trainer. Plan your learning delivery to get the best out of your training sessions. Before you deliver your training session, it is vital that you take some time to prepare. The better prepared you are, the more effective your training will be. As a trainer, you should prepare all the resources you require and include them in your lesson plan. Ensure that the learner is fully briefed about the learning that is about to take place. Ensure that the learner is given sufficient time, resources and support to attend the training event. Ensure that adequate resources are available for the training event. Provide a safe and secure environment for learners to participate with confidence. As part of your planning, it's helpful to have an idea on how you're going to conduct your training session. Decide what activities you're going to get your learners to do. Estimate how long these activities will take so you can schedule the session, and prepare the resources for each activity. Resources could include a lesson plan, question and answer sheets, audio-visual aids including videos, DVDs and PowerPoint presentations, handouts. All BVS DVD and videos come with a Social Care Trainers pack, which includes detailed lesson plans, question and answer sheets, handouts and a certificate template. Once you have completed your planning, it's time to think about the space in which you are going to train. The size, shape and location of this room will impact on the training that is delivered, and the arrangement of tables and chairs and where the trainer and learners sit will influence the type of training delivery. For example, this formal classroom type arrangement does little to encourage discussion and puts the trainer firmly in charge. This informal arrangement is much more democratic. The ground rules will ensure that your group feels safe enough to contribute towards any discussion. However, the learners have no tables to rest on in order to take notes. This arrangement is also democratic. It encourages group discussion and maximises the interaction between trainer and learner. The provision of tables allows care workers to display their name, take notes, and refreshments can also be provided for the learners. This training room uses lots of visual and audio equipment, which will allow learners who are more visually orientated to actively engage in the course content. The provision of handouts will overcome the anxiety that many learners have about taking adequate notes during the lesson. The handouts will also allow the more reflective individuals to take materials away and ponder over them at their leisure.
Well, good morning everyone. Welcome. Nice to see you all here.
Where possible, it is important to have an understanding of the learner's prior knowledge and experience. This could be used as an initial talking point or icebreaker to start a training session. You could use this information to judge whether you're pitching the session at the right level. You could also use this information to build on or develop an idea within your session. Finally, it is important to realise that no one can know everything, and that learners can often contribute some useful knowledge or experience that you hadn't thought of. When you deliver your training event, it must appeal to all of your learners. Not everyone learns in the same way. Some learners are visually stimulated, while some prefer to listen. How others learn should inform the way you teach your topic. Adults learn best when there is an atmosphere where learners can discuss things openly. New learning is applied to the workplace. They get regular and positive feedback on their development. There are 3 main approaches to learning. The trainer sets the goals. The learner sets their own goals. The trainer triggers learning by encouraging curiosity, exploration and achievement. In most training situations, there is usually a mix of all 3 of these approaches. You cannot help others learn until you know how they learn, and having an idea of the way people learn will give you valuable information when planning and delivering your training sessions. There is a way of categorising how people learn called VARK. VARK stands for visual, aural, read-write and kinesthetic. These are the sensory systems that we use when learning new information. Visual. This preference is for visual information. Charts, graphs, flowcharts, images, photos and video.
I like images. So my style is really visual because I like to see things. And then, of course, I like to make my own notes.
Okay, you've seen the video. You've got your handouts there showing you how to use your legs and follow the natural curves of your spine. I've got a box here that needs lifting. Who'd like to go first?
Can I go?
Kinesthetic. This preference is for learning through the use of experience and practice, either simulated or real.
The kind of training that I like is training where, I'm involved physically. I'm literally there doing it. I don't like to so much read about it. Some people like to read all day long. Some people like to watch, documentaries on stuff all day long. Really and truly, I want to have my hands dirty, so to speak.
Aural, auditory.
Bend your knees, keep your head up. Oops, now then, I want to make sure that you've got a steady grip on that box.
This preference is for information that is heard or spoken. Learners learn best from lectures, tutorials, tapes, group discussion, email, web chat and talking things through. Read-write. This preference is for studying information displayed as words, books, reports, text or handouts.
My learning style. I think my learning style really is the reading side of it. I do like to have handouts and obviously writing down. So it's probably quite studious, really.
You should also be aware that some people may learn through a combination of their senses. They could, for example, be both a visual and an auditory person. But you should still design and deliver your training event, making sure that you appeal to each of the 4 possible learning styles.
And lift.
In this training session for care workers on fire prevention in the care home, the trainer is going through the different types of fire extinguishers. She has produced a flip chart that lists the 5 main types of extinguisher and is talking through their different uses.
Okay, water is red. And this is used to put out things like paper, wood, fabric and the like. Can anyone think of a time when a red fire extinguisher would be used?
I mean, let's say a resident knocked over their ashtray and the cigarette went into the waste paper basket. I'd use a red one then.
Good, good, Hamza. Yeah, excellent. So, when wouldn't you use water to put out a fire?
In the kitchen?
Yes, go on.
Well, there's a lot of electricity, and that's a bit dangerous. Water, electricity.
That's right, Tina. What other type of fire wouldn't you use water to put out in the kitchen? Can anyone tell me? Joe?
When a chip pan catches fire?
Yeah, that's right. Chip pan fire is oil-based. But why should you never use water to put out an oil fire?
Isn't it because oil and water don't mix? I should imagine if you put water on top of the flames, they'd get bigger, wouldn't they?
This is a good training session. The information presented is clear and an interesting discussion has started up. The learners are actively involved and the trainer is able to see, just from the discussion, the level of understanding of her group. But fire prevention is an important subject, and although it may appear that her group understands the theory, can she be sure that she has appealed to every type of learning style? Can she be sure that all her group will remember the theory in the heat of the moment?
In fact, that's quite interesting because that brings us on to procedures within the home, but we can cover that. But before we do that, I think what I'd like to do is now just have a little look at a video on fire extinguishers.
Using training videos is a great way of presenting information. It appeals to both visual and auditory learning styles. A kinesthetic learner may also benefit from experiencing the action in the programme. Supplement this with good quality handouts and a discussion, and you've got the bases covered. Video is also able to show things that you would never be able to recreate in a training room. For example, what really does happen when you put water on an oil fire. We've seen that different types of learners receive information in different ways, be it auditory, visually, kinesthetically, or through reading and writing, and that some people may learn through a combination of their senses. No matter how the learner receives the information, that information still needs to be absorbed, assimilated, and turned into understanding, and the way people do this can vary from person to person. The way people assimilate information can be described as people having different learning characteristics. There are 4 main types. Activists.
Okay, who would like to volunteer and fate? Come on, Hamza.
Activists like to be involved in new experiences. They are open-minded and enthusiastic about new procedures, but often get bored with implementing new ideas. They enjoy doing things and tend to act first and consider the consequences afterwards.
I like to get in on things, you know. I like to feel it, you know. I like to touch it, and I want to get involved.
Reflectors. Reflectors like to stand back and look at a situation from different perspectives. They like to collect information and think about things carefully before coming to any final conclusions. Theorists. Theorists adapt and integrate their everyday observations into complex and logically sound theories. They think problems through in a step-by-step way and tend to be perfectionists who like to fit things into a rational scheme. Pragmatists. Pragmatists are keen to try things out. They want concepts that can be applied to their job. They tend to be impatient with lengthy discussions and are practical and down to earth.
I like to actually do it. Then I know what I'm doing. For instance, in our training today, we had to do the recovery position. And it was fine watching it, but because I had the chance to actually do it, I now know confidently it is something I can do.
Again, it is possible that you will find elements of each of these learning characteristics in every person.
Wake up now.
In this session on moving and handling, the trainer has shown a video clip on proper lifting techniques. She has also passed round some handouts for the group to study. She now wants her learners to get up and try some of the new techniques by moving a lightweight box. How do you think the reflector will react if asked to go first? And how will the pragmatist approach this task?
Now I have a box here that needs moving. Who wants to go first? Lucy?
Oh, could you ask someone else?
Okay, Lucy.
Thanks.
Joe, do you want to have a go?
Yeah.
Good, got a good grip.
What would happen though if I picked it up like that?
Ah, now, before we go any further, you could probably hurt yourself, and I'd rather you didn't do that.
Understanding the 4 different types of learners and the 4 learning characteristics can help you tailor your training to appeal to all your learners.
Plus, she's keeping her arms very stiff, so that could hurt the elbow.
Yes, because she said, and certainly her central, as I was saying before, her central balance wouldn't be in the right position. So not a good move. Not a good move.
Good try.